I had this feeling that it could be the sniper guy here.
Yeah.
Because I felt like if we were not going to see SOS right here, we were not going to see him today.
That's a good point. Well, 3-1 against Terran this round. Not too bad at all. And he has been looking better and better as time goes on. Coming back into it.
Yeah, I think this is a smart pick. But SOS's execution is everything here because I know he's got something crazy planned. Like, I'm even feeling like we're going to see this new hidden Nexus meta kind of come up in this game. We've been seeing that a lot. We saw that in Code A recently. It's actually back on the rise in Korea, hidden bases.
It's such a risky style at the same time, though, because if it gets scouted, you just lose the game. And I think after a little while, like, people are just going to scout it out of habit, and it's just never going to work again. It's going to fall out of meta again, and SOS going to have to bring it back in another 2 years. And it was TY. He looked fantastic in the last game. Similar sort of map properties this time around, but no pocket natural, I guess, is the only thing.
I almost feel like the coach is just like, you know, play a similar style because you prepared so well for that first game. And just kind of play a bit reactionary here, but at the same time continue to be aggressive as you were. And hiding those drops was so important because that's what gave him his first foothold. Because his first group against was just chain tagged by those oracles. He was never able to really escape detection there.
I wonder if he'll go for that CC first again, because I feel like SOS would actually try and kill you if you did that as well. Like, he'd have the kind of build where you chrono boost out Zealots and a Stalker and force the cancel and maybe just win the game. As I think we've seen, who was it? Parting do against Flash, I believe it was in the past.
Yeah. You know, the thing about this map, too, is it's 3 players. So if you get lucky with the CC first, they scout you later, scout you wrong, you get a nice early kind of free CC. But if you get scouted, like you're saying, easily punished by somebody like SOS. Well, TY took the upset. He took the first game. We're now going to find out if SOS, the illusionist Protoss, the trickster, clapping his hands here, could tie it up going into game number 2. I think we might talk for another minute because that's what happened yesterday for these vote countdowns.
Seems so. The music starts a little too early, in my opinion, because I'm like getting ready to go into the game. The game is hasn't started just yet.
Well, if you guys are in Korea, give a text to 5855 whether you want Kim Eugene or Chun Taeyong. That's SOS and TY respectively. If you can't speak Korean, type that in, send it in. We want your votes. Only it costs 100 won. That's a dime.
It's 10 cents.
10 cents, man.
10 cents.
I don't even know if you could text that internationally, but if that, I don't even know if that works.
Don't do it internationally. That'll be probably like 70 cents.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Just
waste the money.
Just post your vote on TL. All right, guys, we're going into this one. SOS versus TY to see if SOS could tie it up. Down here, or up here in the top right, it's SOS for Generic Green Wings.
And up here in the top left, it is TY for KT Rolster, the Protoss Slayer.
Well, tell me what you're thinking about this, because I feel like the two most dominant Protosses right now are actually Hero and Stats, parting just on the edge of that. I feel like what sets SOS apart from these players is his lack of consistency. He just isn't quite able to be consistent, but
he had a horrible time, you know, in the start of the season, really struggling specifically against Zerg in such a weird way. I don't know, it really felt like SOS dropped hard after his success last year and the year before that. And I don't know, he's kind of been rebuilding that, and he's getting better and better. He still has his own ideas about the game, which is, I think, so cool as well. You know, he's got his own unique style still and his own mindset when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But you know what, my theory is for today and for SOS is that he was trained to deal with Flash specifically, and maybe TY. Like, he's going to be the killer for those guys today.
I think so.
Because, like, I don't know, when you look at those players that you think of, like, the lesser players of KT, it's like, well, if they use them SOS, you got to be ready for it. Because you're gonna get ready for this greedy CC first style that we see so often from these players. You're going to be aggressive and you're going to kill them. And I'm sure that's what we're going to see this game.
I'm thinking so. 70-30 spread, by the way, in favor of SOS on the votes.
Yeah, my vote's SOS as well.
Same. But, you know, TY played an incredible game last game, and he's going to go straight for that CC first. He's going to stick with what he practiced already. And SOS is going to fast scout here. I think he's expecting there's a high possibility that TY is just going to do exactly what he did last game.
Yeah.
And he actually gets the lucky scout, too. He's going the right direction.
Yeah. So I definitely think so. Like, it feels like TY and Flash have very similar mindsets in this matchup, and they do love these CC first more than anything else.
Look at the scout actually re-rallying.
I feel like that's the proxy, man. I feel like it's a really proxy Stargate.
Really aggressive Stargate here, it looks like. Well, all the way to the bottom left here, though, it could be insanely I mean, wow. He could even hide DTs here, but I don't think so. I think this is a Stargate location.
It's delicious.
Well, SOS, man, $, oh, $. What I was going to say about him versus those other top 3 processors we're talking about is he's just so terrifying to play against because you never really know what he's going to do. His style is, I don't know what his style is. That's why you can't really prepare well for him.
It's like the mad scientist style, man. It's freestyler. He's like, what am I feeling this game? What am I feeling? I think I'll go DT drop into Oracle. It's like, what? That's not meant to work, SOS, but okay.
Yeah,
it works.
He just gets these feelings. Now, with the Zealot scouted here, immediately a bunker goes up. And this is going to be an insanely quick Stargate here. Bunker goes up at the ramp. It's funny as it is, like he's that
afraid. He's that scared. He knows SOS. And look at that. He actually didn't go for that gas build either that we did see last game. He went for 2 racks before any sort of gas, making those Marines as fast as possible. Because he knows SOS is that aggressive player.
You know what? This could even be Void Rays.
Wouldn't that be funny?
It could be.
You wish for. You actually will.
I do wish. I do wish.
We know you love your Void Ray Olins, mate.
But you know what? It could be. But Oracles gives them the flexibility to harass as well as attack. It doesn't do well for breaking bunkers.
Yeah, that is true.
But the Oracle is definitely the more flexible choice. Now, this SCV is going to come over here and confirm there's no Nexus. Actually, I think a Stalker is coming back to check that to make sure he can deny it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, so he's changed his mind again. He's simply going to just go maybe south of the Zelnaga and actually not going to find it at all.
Oh, this is unfortunate. SV comes in here. He's going to see no Nexus.
Well, he definitely knows at this point. Okay, it is aggression.
He got in the main, too. He knows it's a proxy Stargate now as well, almost 100%.
Whoa, that's a late warp gate as well, mind you. I think he might have forgot that.
Oh, he forgot warp gate.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well.
Oh, no. Okay, well, is a hidden Nexus?
Of course.
This is SOS. You just never know what he's going to do. He's like, I wanted him to scout that I don't have that, and I chrono boost warp gate late because then he thinks this, but actually it's not what's happening at all.
I don't even think SOS knows what he's doing. I don't even think he's like, huh. Well, I got a probe down south. I guess I'll make a Nexus.
Well, this definitely isn't going to work, but it draws a lot of units away, and here comes a few kills on this Oracle. More than it should have gotten, considering TY's hold into 1 base.
Look
4
at that.
kills? Oh.
I think he gets 5.
Maybe even 6. Turn around, grab it. Oh, he's going to get this bunker, too. He's testing that multitasking of TY right now. He's ripping him to shreds.
Yeah, TY is failing that test. He got a D- for that. I mean, he gets the Oracle away, but he loses a bunker, 6 SCVs.
Yeah, and I think even a Marine went down there, too.
Oh, my God.
He's now moving his barracks back for safety.
Double Nexus.
This is so smart because he knows that there's no way for TY to scout, actually. He killed the SCV, and he's got him contained here. He's got him so contained that he can't even defend his Oracle Harass on 1 base. Well, he's got his second CC up here, his floated barracks because he's struggling. He's going to lose a depot. SOS is like, by my counts, almost already won this game, Moonglade. Like, well, how can he even, without a factory to even start a starport, ever move out to hope to pressure or attack either of these bases?
Well, the one thing is that SOS is so strung out. You know, he's got these harassment units, kind of similar to what we saw last game. You know, double Oracle. It puts everything else a lot further behind, and then we see 2 Nexus go up. That's going to put you behind even more. So if TY finds his way down this ramp, which he can do pretty easily once the turrets are up, takes that natural, and maybe starts to be a little aggressive on the map, maybe goes for some decent scouting for even a hidden base, this could put him right back into the game.
I feel like the key here is to just make sure he's got these turrets up. He already has 2. I wouldn't even mind to actually have a second turret in the mineral line so he can protect his gas SCVs, because once he has that up, then he can actually move out. But the Oracle is the only thing that's keeping TY in his base right now. As you were saying, scans here, sees the Nexus is up, sees only a few probes. That's not enough for him to be able to tell there's a hidden base, but he might suspect, because this is back in the meta right now, as we were talking about earlier.
Possibly, yeah. Or he could just... It's hard to say, because that is such a small amount of probes for a natural. He's like, well, is that really it? Did he really invest that much into this aggression? It doesn't seem that way, right? Because It's 2 Oracle, 2 Stalker, and like a Zealot. And that's it. That's all he's seen. So surely TY should have put that into his head and be like, well, you know, something's missing here.
Yeah, he might be thinking, wow, you must have a ton of gates off one base, but I have combat shielded Marines. This might actually just kill him. I may have spoken too soon.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
He should have Photon Overcharge, which is going to force him back. And if that fails, then the gateway units plus these 2 Oracles will handle this.
Yeah, and he's got sentries, so he can't go up the ramp. And those sentries have been out for a while. They might even have like up to 4 force fields now, I think. Okay, there's a Nexus Cannon immediately.
This is pretty much exactly what TY wanted to do. He wasn't trying to kill. He was just like, well, I'll trigger the Photon Overcharge and wait. You know, force the energy to go down. But ooh, looks like he's actually going to commit to this.
Yeah, he's going to contest. This is actually what SOS wants. He wants to bait him under that charge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Force field him in. Oh, this is great for SOS. Even the Oracle's coming back in now to actually help out if need be. Now he could actually almost just take this fight straight up.
Yeah, he could actually maybe even clean up with those Oracles if he wanted to.
Look at the worker count. TY's just now relanded his CC. Observer spots this army.
20 down. 20 workers down and 1 base down to a Protoss. This is horrible. Absolutely horrible. And TY is not finding any traction.
He has no drops. And if he starts making drop ships now, he's so behind, he's not going to have Vikings for the Colossus count that's already, now the second one on the way could probably start range in just a second once he hits that 200 gas. Probably thinking about taking those gases at his hidden base pretty soon as well, just to increase his Vespene intake.
Yeah, well, you might even have to, you know. He could just simply get the max minerals, just add like 8 gateways, and just go for a huge Colossus Zealot all in.
Starts to look like he might actually do just that, Moonglade, as soon as you're saying it. Adding those 4 gates right now, constantly tagging this army, constantly identifying where these units are. We saw just Trap in the previous game love to tag, keep that army consistently revealed, and any Marines that try to spread off, he just kills them.
It's just about finding, you know, the ones that, the other drop that's going to be coming if TY wants to go for that sort of thing again. He cannot let a quad drop go into his natural, for instance. That would just be horrible.
Well, you know what's lucky for him here is, well, not even lucky, I guess. Part of this was just a harass, but I guess he was probably also trying to find out, are there more drops like we saw last game? And this time he finds out it's just Vikings. So he's like, oh, okay, so you're actually skipping medevacs completely to go for Vikings here.
That is so funny. That is I think, the bad choice right there. He needs to be out in the map, maybe trying to find this extra base. He's going to find it looks like.
Oh, but his SCV got scouted, actually, so he's going to kill this before he can even...
I wonder if he gets...
Scan. He has to scan.
That's
way too suspicious, right? Like,
it's
why are you
weird.
chasing my SCV that's going nowhere?
It's weird, that's for sure. But do you really want to spend a scan on that? It's like, well, even if there is something there. Like,
if there's something there, you're already behind. You lost a mule.
Yeah,
like,
you lost a mule for that. He's going to actually go down.
He knows. He's like, oh, there's something here. This is way too suspicious. No scan needed.
Well, you know what's going to happen. A warpin's going to happen, and these oracles are going to deny this drop.
Look at that. There's also a cannon.
This is not going to work out.
He needs that warpin, though. Oh, he recalls for it.
What? I don't know if that was the right choice.
Well, this opens up a lot of potential for damage at the natural.
He kind of realizes that with a big warpin. Already 2 Colossus there. I don't think there's any way TY can break any base.
No, he's too spread thin. Oh, he's gonna show himself too soon. He's gonna get the mothership core. That's something. But he can't break either base. Look at the army supply, 87 to 62 with better tech in SOS's army. Better upgrades. Ooh, this hurts. 2 oracles get popped like balloons.
Yeah, simultaneously as well. It's kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
I like that. I like StarCraft.
I like StarCraft. It looks good.
So he's going to apply pressure to this 3rd base down here. But he still doesn't really have enough units to break it, especially if they're camping the ramp. But this is also a bad situation for SOS because these armies split up.
Yeah.
And that mothership, went down, so he cannot recall back to the natural.
Yeah, his army is like, it's just not quite enough in either location to fight TY's, but if he can bring them together, that would be good. But he doesn't know exactly where TY's army is, and which is really unfortunate that he lost those 2 oracles for, because had he still had those to continuously tag, he wouldn't be as worried, right?
Yeah, this is actually so awkward. And most of the buffer is down there in the south as well. So this army up top has to be so careful making its way down. And a nice force field on the ramp. It's going to force TY to turn around, but now SOS's army is going to have to turn around to the natural.
Funny thing is, like, the longer this goes on, though, with 3 bases for SOS, he's eventually going to have an army that can always pull in the SCVs. I was going to say, SOS is eventually going to have an army that could just fight. Both these armies could fight the whole army, like, separately. He sees this coming now. He's moving across. There's no sentries here.
Oh, he forgot to mothership core. It's down in the south there. He could be actually using that to recall right now with that whole army.
All right, here we go. SCVs are spotted. Looks like he's just going to let the natural go.
I think he can. He can let this go. He's already got the base down there. All he has to do is make the right army, the right size for this, and just deal with it. And this is giving SOS time to reunite his army together.
Yep, exactly. He's also getting a Dark Shrine, which I like a lot, because if he just had to buy his time here, he could send DTs to harass. And look at all the scans that have already been used here.
He's making a missile turret there. You know, he's making one at the end, the natural, which is kind of cool.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
He sees the Dark Shrine as part of this. Okay, we're going to see the sandwich here. Vikings in a decent spot, but look at that, Blink. This army is just way too small. Look at the supplies here. TY is a goner, man.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting this job done.
GG. This is SOS in a nutshell. Freestyle, baby.
Freestyle, baby. And yeah, one extra base the whole game. There's no way you're going to beat the Protoss when you're that far behind in economy.
Well, he also was able to identify that TY was so late on his starport. He was so scared. He was able to scare him and trick him so much that even once he realized that something like that might be happening, he didn't have a factory even to even maybe think about getting medevacs to go and harass. He was contained in his base. He had to make turrets. And by the time he could finally move out, like you were saying, the mothership core is up, the Nexus cannon is up, he's got enough sentries to help deny. He baits him in, even picks off some free units.
Oh yeah, he was completely ready for everything. Obviously, I guess if the bottom base did get scattered out, maybe he could have dealt with it really early on, but after that, like, he was just way too far behind for him to find anything anywhere.
Well, what are you thinking, Moonblade? Who's KT going to send out now?
Well, it is going to be on Deadwing. I would not even argue to see stats at this point. I feel like that could even happen.
Yeah?
That could even happen. I'm like wondering who else we could see. I don't know if we want to see another Terran on this map. I could see Flash maybe, but I feel like they're only going to be using one of these Terrans. When you've got Life, Zest, and Stats waiting, it could be Zest. Zest, you know, he has got great PvP. It could very well be him. It's going to be on Deadwing.
Yeah.
I think it has to be Zest.
Zest is really good at
really good
at PvP on big maps.
Yeah. No, we've seen a lot of that. He's had a lot of experience in that.
His late game decision making is really, really, really good. So I think there's a high chance we see him here.
Yeah.
TY having a chat with the coach. How long did he have that base up and what was happening? And
it's like he had it up all game, dude. Why didn't you scout there, man?
I think he's also just kind of like, you like made 2 bunkers at the top of your ramp against 2 stalkers. Like 2 stalkers. You had 2 bunkers at the top of your ramp against 2 stalkers.
Yeah.
You got fooled.
I guess it's kind of hard to figure that out there. I mean, it's either going to be a proxy Nexus or like a hidden Nexus, or it's going to be some super aggressive sort of gateway build with a lot of Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries. And it was the first one, you know, it's that Nexus, and just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. And, you know, it's tough. You have limited information. And what if he, with that insanely close starport, which is able to identify that starport is insanely close, what if then after that, it's Void Rays coming out of there and he doesn't have any bunkers and he just dies to Void Ray follow-up with Stalkers? I mean, he saw no Nexus, so the panic feeling is definitely there. That he was able to scout. There was no Nexus. Then he lost his SCV, so he couldn't check for hidden bases. Rough game there, but TY can't fault him too much. His first game was excellent.
It was a good win, you know, getting rid of a very strong Protoss to start things off. Good way to start it. But,
and now we're tied up, so...
We are tied up.
We're going to take a little 3-minute